And now we come, gentlemen, to a very important question. Was there any death in the world before Adam sinned? Or did Adam's sin bring death not only to man, but to the plant and animal world as well? If we've been arguing that Moses opened the door by the use of Yam in the way that he did in the context of Genesis 1 and 2, there could be a longer period of time. And if we try to reconcile that with what we find from the science today, that we have these strata where we find all the fossil record. The fossil record predates Adam. Animals and plants died. We have huge biodeposits that come about as a result of that, okay? So in our questions about theodicy, about is God a good God, all of this enters in right here, what's going on. It takes in the fall, what happened there, and it also takes in Romans 5:12, just as sin entered into the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all men. Here is how the critics of the day-age view frame it, okay? Probably, they say, the most serious problem with the progressive creation or day-age view is the origin of death and suffering. They say a straightforward interpretation of Genesis shows that death of humans and vertebrate animals is the result of Adam's fall. But if long ages are true, then the fossil record must predate Adam by millions of years. Day-age advocates try to reinterpret the Scriptures. Gotta see, Walter, are you reinterpreting the Scriptures that talk about death in order to deny that the fall was responsible? Adam's death, they say, is relegated to merely spiritual. Animal death is apparently still very good. And animal suffering is no big deal because plants suffer death too. So this is an emotional argument as well. So start us off. Let's go to the main verse here, one of the main verses, Romans 5:12. Just as sin entered into the world through one man, and death through sin, and in this way death came to all men because all sin. What is Paul teaching in the New Testament that goes back to the Genesis account?
John, I thought you were going to say, and so death came to all creation. You didn't say that. You said death came to all men, which is generic there. I take it must be the ladies too. But that's understood. I've never heard anyone say that a trilobite is a sinner. I've never heard anyone say that a zebra was a sinner. Look, the death entered the world because man sinned, and so death passed upon all men. If we're going to be radically biblical, and if that's what we're up to, then we've got to go back to the text. And the text says that so death passed upon all mortals. It didn't pass to all of the created order. There may be an argument for that, but it's not in this verse. And the parallel one, of course, is 1 Corinthians 15:22. For as in Adam all die. That's how we italicize in the pulpit. You shake your voice. That means the italic is on in the computer. As in Adam all die, even so in Christ. Now, most people won't put the italics on for the next one, but it is. Even so in Christ shall all be made alive, comma, but each in his squad, each in his own platoon. Christ the first fruits, then those that are Christ that is coming, then comes the end. So look how many are raised, the same amount, well, at least potentially, those that got in trouble, but it's still mortals. So, John, I think you got special pleading in your question there. I don't see how you can get the rest of creation involved from those verses. Now, we're arguing about Romans 5, and we're arguing about 1 Corinthians 15, and we're arguing about who really takes the Bible seriously, who takes it literally. Now, I'd like to claim that award.